Welcome back to Christ Academy. If you hold a high view of Scripture, reading the Bible is an active pursuit of truth. You want to handle the text accurately, honoring the exact intent of the authors. English translations are essential for daily reading, but they involve constant trade-offs. Moving from an ancient language like Greek into modern English means the language cannot always capture every specific nuance, grammatical tense, or intended emphasis of the original text. Look at this comparison table showing 1 Corinthians 7:36 across three major translations. The NASB mentions a man acting improperly towards his virgin daughter. The RSV translates that same phrase as his betrothed, and the 1984 NIV frames it as a decision not to marry. These translations describe three different social situations. These differences aren't errors. They occur because scholars must take a complex ancient concept and fit it into an English sentence that makes sense today. But relying strictly on the English text leaves you dependent on those specific choices, placing a filter between you and the author's original words. This is the specific problem William D. Mounce addresses in his book, Greek for the Rest of Us. His premise is practical. You don't need 3 years of seminary training to use original language tools. You just need enough baseline knowledge to use those tools accurately and safely. To make this manageable, Mounce divides the learning process into 3 escalating tiers based on the time and effort you are willing to commit. He calls these tiers Foundational Greek, Church Greek, and Functional Greek. Our goal today is to help you figure out exactly which tier you need. We want you to acquire the tools you require without overcommitting to an academic path you may not have time for. The first tier is Foundational Greek. The required input is modest. You memorize the 24-letter Greek alphabet, learn basic pronunciation, and understand a few simple noun and verb rules. The outcome is the ability to navigate Bible software, like concordance, and use Strong's numbers to identify the original words behind the English text. This diagram illustrates a word's semantic range, the full spectrum of possible meanings for a single Greek term. The single word sarx can mean flesh, human effort, or sinful nature. The correct translation depends entirely on context. The trade-off at this level is that you remain entirely reliant on English word order. You won't be able to trace the deeper grammatical arguments in complex letters like Romans. But Foundational Greek provides a high return for personal study. It gives you direct access to original word meanings without the burden of learning full syntax. The second tier is Church Greek. Here, you master Greek cases and learn the phrasing method to visually map out the structure of a biblical passage. The most critical concept introduced at this tier is verbal aspect. Look at this split-screen diagram. English verbs locate an action on a timeline. Greek verbs prioritize the kind of action, a continuous loop or a solid whole. Grasping this lets you follow complex grammatical arguments in high-level theological commentaries. The trade-off is steep. Level 2 requires a significant leap in mental effort because these structural concepts do not exist in English grammar. Church Greek is the required tier for anyone actively teaching the Bible. It allows you to track complex logic and fully utilize scholarly resources. The final tier is Functional Greek. This requires heavy memorization of noun declensions, verb morphology, and advanced grammar rules. The outcome is the ability to read a traditional Greek interlinear Bible and evaluate the historical manuscript differences that sit behind modern translations. You are introduced to textual criticism, the study of ancient manuscripts to determine the original wording of the text. This image of the Codex Sinaiticus shows the dense uncial script of ancient manuscripts. Scholars use documents like this to resolve issues like the ending of the Gospel of Mark in chapter 16, determining why certain verses are included or excluded. The trade-off here is a massive time investment. You are moving into formal seminary territory, yet you still lack the complete safety net of full language fluency. Functional Greek is strictly for advanced exegesis. It offers deep historical insight, but demanding a near-academic lifestyle commitment to maintain. There is a risk present in all 3 of these levels, the danger of acquiring basic grammatical rules without advanced mastery or humility. It is tempting for a novice to open a Bible study by declaring, "The Greek actually says," attempting to overturn faithful, established translations with a single rule. Take 1 Corinthians 12:29, which asks, "Do all speak in tongues?" A novice might misinterpret grammar to support a specific theological point about spiritual gifts. This analysis shows the original language using the negative word, may. The rule box indicates this structure expects a definitive no answer. Professional translators know these rules, which is why deferring to experts is crucial when operating with partial linguistic knowledge. A little Greek requires a lot of humility. These linguistic tools are meant to help you sit under the authority of the text, not stand over it. Greek for the rest of us is an effective resource, provided you match your study tier to your actual daily capacity and responsibilities. This matrix finds your level. Vertical measures time, horizontal measures teaching responsibility. Bottom left, for personal devotions, stop at level 1, foundational Greek. Top right, teaching small groups, reach level 2, church Greek. Extreme upper right, unless in academia, avoid level 3 and rely on commentaries. The goal of learning Greek isn't to find hidden meanings that everyone else missed. It is to acquire the specific tools needed to handle the word of truth correctly and faithfully.